Welcome back to the Only Accies channel. It's finished here Celtic 2, Hamilton 0. A disappointing loss. Not a huge amount to talk game-wise. It's as you expect. 7 defenders, Accies sit deep and rightfully so lose. It's more kind of what's happening off the pitch and more what's happening in the club that's kind of winding me up tonight. So I'm sure Brandon will obviously mention the missing players tonight, but Brian Rice's interview before the game for Sky Sports, when he said that Accies have no chance, that stuck with me. Like that, as Brandon has said in the 2020 review, and as he said previously, as a loser mentality. And that's what that was. He's saying from the get-go, Accies have no chance tonight. We watched St Mirren go and play Dundee United, batter them. I don't even know, I think it was 5-1 the final score. Batter them tonight against Dundee United team that we struggled to get a draw off of. It's poor management from top to bottom. The club isn't good enough right now. The players, we know we have the worst squad in the league. We said that to Brian Rice. The management's not good enough, and the board isn't doing enough, in my opinion. As I said, it's more kind of what's going on off the pitch that's getting to me tonight. Brandon, I'll come to you first, mate. Thoughts on tonight? Thoughts on the club? What's happening?
Well, the game is a game. When you play Celtic or Rangers, the games don't matter. They're not going to decide where we finish at the end of the season. Although in these sort of circumstances, it would have been the depleted Celtic sort of team just now. It would have been good to have a bit of more of a go at them. I don't blame Rice for the way he was set up at all today, and I don't think you can blame the players for how they played either. I think it was an okay performance. We could have exploited Celtic's sort of weaknesses a bit more, like other teams have done. They're clearly bad at set pieces. They're clearly bad defending sort of long crosses in. I think when we did put the balls in a good way, we threatened them, and we saw that with Moyles' absolute sitter. I just think we could have done more to trouble them slightly, but I've got no qualms with the performance. As you say, it's a sort of off the field situation, and let's say what's probably not going on more than what's going on, because there's absolute hee-haw apart from players coming out and writing cryptic tweets looking as if they're gone, which if they're going to be gone, it's been clear as day that Justin Johnson wasn't in Rice's plans for about Motherwell at the very beginning of the season. So if he was never going to be part of plans and he was never actually going to get a chance, why have him in your wage bill? And we're going on about we're in financial difficulty. Well, if we're struggling financially, let these people go that you know is not going to be part of your plans, and get players in that's going to get us off bottom, because we're a couple of days left to the end of the transfer window, and if we don't bring a single person in, we're in deep trouble.
Lewis, what did you make of tonight, mate?
Well, the game, I don't think we played terribly. I don't think we were terrible tonight, but obviously the first goal still makes a bit of an arse of it. And the second goal, the ball falls straight. He's quite lucky. But the Moyles sitter, with that fucking attack, as Casey's saying up, I just don't see where goals are coming from. I don't see where Eden's coming from. And obviously we're saying about the 7-1-2, it's fucking horrendous, but we're not just playing that against Celtic, we're playing that against your Dundee United, your St Johnstone's, teams that we should be trying to beat. And we're playing this hot. Folk were criticising Rice earlier in the season for being too attacking and leaving us open, but let's be a bit of a middle ground, surely. We can't just keep fucking either getting pumped 4-5-0 or drawing 0-0 every week, maybe get beat 1-0. It's just a shambles. And as we're off the pitch with transfers, well, lack of transfers, it's just as bad. We need forwards in, we need wingers. Do we have any fit wingers? Really, apart from Monroe and Johnson, who obviously isn't going to be anywhere near the team, we don't really have anybody. Thomas, Templeton, etc. are all out, and I'm just worried. I'm worried now. Just with Justin Johnson and Tunde and all, I don't understand why they're not getting at least some sort of crack of the whip. Whenever Justin Johnson's got a chance, he's looked all right. He's not been brilliant, but he's looked all right. Bit of pace, bit of skill, something a bit different that we don't normally have in the team. So I just don't understand why he's not getting a chance in Tunde. He's just mental. The way the guy was playing the last year or so down south, the goals he scored, I don't understand why he's not getting some sort of crack at the whip.
And you've got someone
the right goggles.
Someone that's constantly getting a game that averages a goal every 13 and a half
Oh,
games.
it's insane, isn't it? It's insane. Moyo and Ogilvy have to be the worst strike force I've ever saw at Accies. And it's too similar. It's two extremely similar players. Just two big lumps to punt the ball up the park to, and hope they can knock it onto the other one, and the other one can fluck a goal. It's just crazy. It's crazy the way we're playing at the moment.
Yeah, I mean we get a bit of stick kind of about David Moyo on Twitter today, and I think quite rightly so. We've defended him. Yes, he works hard, but his goal return just is not good enough. And when we saw that today, I said, I was watching it with my dad, any other striker in the league either just turns that towards goal or has the knowledge to take a touch and finish it.
Aye.
Other striking league does that.
I think with that chance, he had all the team in the world. There was no one about him. Duffy made an arse going for it with the header, and there was no one about him. He just snatches at it and just goes miles wide.
And that's what it showed. That's what it showed in that
just
game, though. If we exploit it, the sort of Celtic's defensive frailties, we sort of getting balls crossed into the box and threatening them. There was times where we were putting corners in, they weren't even beating the first man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, but all our chances were coming from sort of crosses in the box. The Celtic defence struggle with that. I think we were beat before the whistle was even kicked today. Which
the way Rice was talking, sorry, man.
You play Celtic, so you're not expecting much, but they're struggling now a wee Celtic. Yeah, so
that is by far that is the furthest thing away from a good Celtic team. That obviously they're miles better player by player from us, but the way they're playing and the way their mentality is, it's a team. It's a game where, you know, if St Mirren who are on a good run the now, if Livingston who are on a good run the now, if they went to Celtic Park, they are not sticking 7 defenders on, sitting back and hoping to hold out. Like, they're going to try something, and I think today, it's just that to me just is a loser mentality, as Brandon said, and as he said, the game is lost before we even play tonight.
It's like Lewis touched on at the start. When we're getting, and I've touched on it many a time, it's when we're getting pumped at the start of the season, we obviously were calling for it to change, and quite rightly so, Rice done it, but there must be a middle ground in between that, and that just shouts out poor game management to me, because it's just the same repetitive formation over and over again, and then when he's changing it in game, it's just like for like subs. It's as if there's surely, I'm not a football manager, none of us are, but there has to be a middle ground when you're playing teams that there's going to be capabilities for us to threaten, i.e. your Ross Counties, your St Johnstones, even just mixing it up against who you're playing. You don't need to play 7 defenders every game.
No.
There can be a middle ground, and Ross Callaghan just being his cell in that middle of the park. He needs someone, a creative midfielder, an attacking minded player. He's doing a full positions job himself.
It's about season, an impossible job. It's just ridiculous. Callaghan's a brilliant player, probably the best player this season, and it's just, you can't just stick a guy in the middle of the park and just say you're the entire midfield. It's just crazy.
That whole game, I wasn't bothered. I thought we were all right, but see some of the things fucking Bobby Bollocks and this Anthony guy was saying.
I'm glad I had the Celtic commentary on.
It was honestly so bad. They were like, if a Celtic player done something well, they'd laugh and joke about it and say that was really well done. That's good for their Scotland career and stuff like that. And then calling them by their nicknames as if he's.
It's mental. I would do a better job as a fucking commentator.
No, and that's what Bobby was talking about. It was
insane.
It was saying how back in the day he was a great finisher of the ball, and he used to love a TV. But I would like to know who was your man of the matches, because that'd be an interesting one. I think that might divide a few people. I certainly know mine.
I would say I'm probably between 2 people. I would say Ross Callaghan. I thought just was tireless today. As we said, tries to do the job of 3 men in midfield. I also thought Aaron Martin was excellent as well.
What about you, Lewis?
Marius Ogunpo, I thought his work rate was excellent. And I've got on. Probably I'd agree with Ben Callaghan. He worked his socks off, doing a fucking entire midfield job. He'd be my man actually every week. I love the guy, but I thought he was good as always tonight.
Mine was Jamie Hamilton again.
Aye,
second game in a row. I thought
He did look comfortable.
He was very on the ball. He looked extremely comfortable. He was probably one of our only players attempting to take his forward and drive with a ball. And for a centre half, that doesn't come very often, especially at Accies. He was unlucky with Edwards' goal. I think he slid in and he's been unlucky. It's bounced off him and went back to Edwards. So I don't think you can fault him in that. But he's just came on leaps and bounds for the hesitant, very nervous looking centre back we had last season. I just think for his age, he just looks extremely mature, and I can see why all these clubs were getting linked to him. And I'd be surprised if we don't make a change ASAP. Then I can see it's certainly going down. And if we go down a division with the financial implications it's going to have, that will be massive to us. We want to keep Jamie Hamilton next season.
I'd be surprised if and listen, I said during the game as well, I don't see us getting off the bottom of the table for the rest of the season. It's sad to say, I don't like it. You know, I'm maybe the more positive one on here, but I don't see where we're going to pick up wins from. If we're not judged on games against Celtic and Rangers and lose them, and people say you should be judged against games against Livy, Kelly, St Mirren, Ross County,
and lose them as well.
Which I don't see, like Lewis said earlier on, I don't see where we're going to get goals from. I don't see where we're going to get wins from. And if we do go down, it will not just be Jamie Hamilton we'll be losing. Adolphin's gone, Callahan's gone.
It'd be an exodus.
I think it's safe to say, and I've been trying to scream at the high tops about this. Yes, we might be financially hit now, and we might be feeling the effects, but they need to take a gamble for once in their life, because if we think we're financially fucked now, think of the implications going down to the Championship will have for us. It'll be massive.
Exactly.
So,
surely they must realise that financially it would be much worse for us to go down to the Championship for the next 2, 3, 4 years.
I don't think
to spend a bit of cash and get maybe 2 or 3 players in.
I don't think I really hope, and I don't think they're that stupid to risk gambling with that team we've got now to stay in that division. They surely must have something up their sleeve, and it's only a couple of days away that it's going to end, so they need to get. Forget the Celtic game tonight. This is huge. This next couple of days is season defining. If we don't bring MD in, we could kiss goodbye to our fucking 7 years in a row in the top flight.
You look at all the teams in the bottom 6. They've done something. They've either made a managerial change or they've got players in. We are the only team in the bottom 6 that's not done any, and it's going to show. It's going to show in the coming months.
We're just at this stage, and people said it on Twitter, we're not an attractive outfit in any shape of the imagination. Players like Lee Hodgson, say for example, who is not having a good time at Gillingham and knows he's going to get played pretty much every single game. We're maybe an attractive outfit for people like him. The Championship, who are we going to be attracting there? Because if we go down to the Championship, we've not got the fan base to say, oh, you maybe like Hearts say you're in the Championship, you'll still be playing in front of a few thousand every week. We don't have that. We don't have the financials to outpay anybody else in the Championship. We're paying probably the same wages as, say, Airdrie and Fairmont, maybe even a little bit less than some of them. So we're not attractive down there. And one phrase that the Celtic commentators kept saying today is this, when brought on like Winter and that.
The conveyor belt of young Accies players.
Here's another player from a good conveyor belt. And see, to be honest...
That's what... Sorry, keep going, mate, sorry.
No, mate, no, listen, I think we're going to say the same thing. See, looking at it, that's what we are right now. Accies' youth system is a conveyor belt. See, players of real proper talent in the last few years, Jamie Hamilton and Lewis Smith, they're the only people who stand out any way, shape or form to me. See, when we said it in our review, when we released people like Blair Alston and all that, we released 7 youth players. See, if these youth players had any kind of spark of talent, they would not be released. It's a conveyor belt of players and hoping one sticks. It's the same with our signing policy. Throw 10 darts at a dartboard and hope 2 of them stick. That's what all it is right now, in signings and in youth systems. And for me, it's so irritating to watch that. I don't know why this is pissing me off so much tonight, but I don't know if it's just stuck tonight, but I do not see us leaving the bottom of the table for the rest of the season, and that's gut-wrenching to say, but I don't see where we're getting points from.
As I say, the next few days is crucial. If we don't see any activity and before Monday, then I know we're fucked, because we're at bottom of the league. We're not going to get off there anytime soon without some sort of change. I'm sorry, and I know I can be negative at times, but surely they must realise people need to come in. Players need to come in. We need someone that will create something for midfield, and we need another striker. 2 minimum things. Spend a bit of money, and then take the gamble if it's going to be a gamble, but you're no gambling by keeping it the way it is, because it's for certain we're going down.
Aye. Down the night, boys, eh?